I wasn't trying to hide anything. That's what people don't seem to understand. I was being honest about what I needed, about how relationships should evolve and grow, about how monogamy is an outdated concept that doesn't work for modern people who want to explore and experience life fully. When I told him I wanted an open relationship, I was being mature and communicative. I was being upfront about my needs instead of sneaking around. That's what you're supposed to do in healthy relationships. Communicate openly about what you want. And honestly, lots of people have open relationships nowadays. It's progressive. It's modern. It's understanding that one person can't fulfill all your needs, and that's okay. I wasn't asking for anything unreasonable or unusual in today's world. She shifts defensively, arms crossed tightly. Everyone keeps telling me I should have been honest before I cheated, that I manipulated the situation, that I got exactly what I deserved. But they don't understand the full context. They don't know how suffocating monogamy felt to me. They don't know what it's like to feel trapped in a relationship that's become routine and predictable. I was trying to save our relationship by being honest about my needs. And somehow I'm the villain because he took me, literally, instead of understanding what I really meant. Before we get into it, don't forget to like and subscribe, and hit hype to boost this episode. Drop a comment below with your city or country. I'm always curious where viewers are joining from. Let me explain what actually happened so you understand why this situation is more complicated than everyone makes it seem. My name is Chelsea. I was in a relationship with my boyfriend Ryan for 3 years. Was in a relationship, past tense, because everything fell apart spectacularly 6 weeks ago over what I genuinely thought was just honest communication about evolving relationship needs. Ryan is successful by any measure. He works in corporate law doing contracts and negotiations for a major firm downtown, makes really good money, probably close to $150,000 a year. Maybe more with bonuses and profit sharing. He's attractive by conventional standards, 6 feet tall, fit from working out regularly at an expensive gym, dresses impeccably in expensive tailored suits. Smart, articulate, well-respected in his field, has his life together completely. We had what looked like a great relationship from the outside. Living together in his beautiful condo downtown with city views for over a year. Talking seriously about getting engaged within the next 6 months. Planning a future together that seemed solid and stable and secure. But I felt restless over time. That's the honest truth. Restless and confined and like I was missing out on experiences. I'm 28 years old. I felt like I was settling down too early, committing too hard before I'd really explored what else was out there in the world. Before I'd experienced enough variety and excitement. That's when I started noticing Marcus more seriously. He was a colleague at my marketing firm, creative director on several major accounts, spontaneous, artistic, exciting, in ways Ryan wasn't. Tall, attractive, charming in an effortless way that drew people to him. We worked on several major projects together over the course of about 6 months. The chemistry was undeniable from the very start, electric and intense. It started innocently enough. Long conversations at work that went way beyond professional topics, laughing together at inside jokes nobody else understood, texting about non-work things, shows we were watching, places we wanted to travel, personal stuff about our lives and dreams and aspirations. Then we started getting drinks after work occasionally, just the two of us, talking for hours about everything and nothing. I knew it was crossing a line. I knew Ryan wouldn't be okay with the intensity of my friendship with Marcus, but I told myself we were just friends, that I was allowed to have male friends, that Ryan was being too controlling if he expected me to avoid all attractive men. The first time I slept with Marcus was after a company happy hour about 2 months before everything exploded with Ryan. We'd both had several drinks throughout the evening. The energy between us was electric and undeniable. We went back to his apartment ostensibly to keep talking, about a project we were collaborating on. One thing led to another very quickly. I felt guilty the next day, genuinely guilty and conflicted, but I also felt alive in a way I hadn't felt in months with Ryan. Excited, desired, appreciated, like I was experiencing something new and thrilling instead of the same comfortable routine with Ryan that had become boring. So it happened again the next week, and again after that. Over the course of 2 months, I slept with Marcus probably 8 or 9 times, sometimes at his place after work. Once in a hotel room we got specifically for that purpose. Once in his car in a parking garage, which felt thrilling and dangerous and wrong in the best way. I was very careful about hiding it from Ryan. I deleted text conversations regularly, so he wouldn't see them if he looked at my phone. I made up detailed excuses about working late on campaigns or going out with girlfriends from college who were visiting. I took extra long showers when I got home to wash away any evidence. I thought I was managing both relationships well, keeping them completely separate in my life, but Ryan found out anyway. He came to my office one day to surprise me with lunch, since he was in the area for a meeting with a client. Saw Marcus and me in my office, sitting very close together at my desk, Marcus's hand on my knee, in a way that was clearly intimate. Saw the way we looked at each other when we didn't think anyone was watching. Saw something that made him immediately suspicious. He didn't confront me right then in my office in front of people. Instead, he went through my phone that night while I was deeply asleep after having wine with dinner. Found text messages I'd forgotten to delete from earlier that week. Messages that made it very clear Marcus and I were more than just colleagues working on projects together. Ryan woke me up at 2 a.m, standing beside the bed with my phone in his hand, his face pale. "Who is Marcus?" My stomach immediately dropped. "What?" "Marcus from your work. Who is he to you?" I could have lied, could have tried to minimize it or deny everything. But I was tired of hiding, and something made me double down instead of backing down. "He's someone I've been seeing, someone I have feelings for." Ryan stared at me like I'd physically slapped him across the face. "You're cheating on me." "I wouldn't call it cheating exactly. What would you call it then?" "I've been thinking a lot lately about our relationship structure, about whether traditional monogamy really works for modern people, whether it's realistic to expect one person to fulfill all your needs for your entire life." "Are you seriously giving me a lecture about the philosophy of monogamy while admitting you cheated on me?" "I'm trying to have an honest conversation about what I need. I think I need an open relationship. I think we should explore non-monogamy together as a couple." "You think we should explore non-monogamy? Or you already did and now you're trying to retroactively justify it?" "I'm being honest with you about my needs. After the fact, after you already betrayed me and lied to me for months, you're not being honest. You're trying to manipulate the situation so you don't have to face real consequences for what you did." "I'm trying to save our relationship by being open about what I need to be happy. By cheating on me and then demanding I accept it as some progressive relationship evolution." We fought intensely for hours that night. I kept insisting that open relationships were valid and that I was just being honest about my needs. He kept insisting I'd cheated deliberately and was now trying to use progressive language to avoid accountability and consequences. Finally, exhausted and angry, Ryan said something I genuinely didn't expect. "Fine, you want an open relationship? Let's do it then." I was genuinely surprised. "Really? Yeah, we'll open the relationship completely. You can see Marcus or whoever else you want, and I can see other people too." I hesitated immediately. "I mean, technically yes, but I thought maybe we could start with me exploring while you stay committed and see how you feel about everything." "Absolutely not. If we're opening this relationship, it's completely equal. I get the exact same freedom you're demanding for yourself." "I don't know if I'm comfortable with that." "Then you don't actually want an open relationship. You just want permission to keep cheating while I stay faithful and wait for you. That's not how this works." "It's different for me. I need this exploration, and maybe I need it too. You don't get to decide that for me. So either we're both completely free to see other people, or we're both committed exclusively to each other. Choose. I didn't like either option, honestly, but I couldn't go back to just being with Ryan exclusively, now that I'd experienced the excitement and passion of being with Marcus. So I reluctantly agreed. Okay. Open relationship. Equal rules for both of us. Great. I'll move into the guest room tonight. We'll figure out logistics and boundaries tomorrow. That's when it started to feel real and uncomfortable for me. Over the next week, Ryan was suddenly very busy, going out several nights per week, coming home late or not coming home at all some nights, being vague and evasive about where he'd been and who he'd been with. "Where were you last night?" I asked one morning after he came home at 8 a.m., wearing the same clothes from the day before. "Out with someone I met, exploring this open relationship you wanted." "Who is she?" "Does it matter? We're open now. I'm seeing other people like you wanted us to do." I hated hearing that, absolutely hated imagining him with someone else. But I was still seeing Marcus regularly, so I couldn't really complain without being a complete hypocrite. 2 weeks into our open relationship, Ryan asked casually if I'd be home Friday night. "Why?" "I'm having someone over for dinner. I'd like you to meet her." "You're bringing a date here? To our home?" "Yes. If we're doing this open relationship thing properly, there should be honesty and transparency. You should meet the people I'm seeing." "I don't want to meet her. You've talked about Marcus constantly, told me all about him. Surely I can introduce you to someone I'm seeing." I couldn't argue against that without being a hypocrite. Friday evening, the doorbell rang at exactly 7 p.m. Ryan answered it. A gorgeous woman walked in, tall, blonde, impeccably dressed in an expensive-looking dress, clearly successful and confident. "Chelsea, this is Amanda. She's a senior partner at a law firm across town. Amanda, this is Chelsea, my partner in our open relationship." "Nice to meet you," Amanda said with a genuinely warm smile. "Ryan's told me about your arrangement." We sat in the living room. It was absolutely excruciating watching Ryan be affectionate with another woman in our home, seeing them laugh together at inside jokes, watching her touch his arm casually, seeing him look at her the way he used to look at me. "How long have you two been seeing each other?" I asked, trying to sound casual. "About a week and a half," Amanda said. "We met at a legal conference. Hit it off immediately. Ryan's wonderful." "Ryan tells me you're seeing someone too," she continued conversationally. "Marcus, right? How's that going?" "Fine," I said shortly. Amanda smiled. "It takes a lot of security to make an open relationship work. I admire that about both of you." I felt my face get hot. Security was the last thing I felt watching Ryan with another woman. After an uncomfortable hour, Amanda finally left. Ryan kissed her goodbye at the door. A real kiss, not just a peck. "So," he said once she was gone, "what did you think of Amanda?" "This feels wrong. This is exactly what you wanted, an open relationship with honesty and transparency." "I didn't want you bringing dates into our home." "Why not? You wanted me to be comfortable with you seeing Marcus. Surely you can handle meeting Amanda once." "It's different." "How is it different exactly?" I couldn't explain without admitting I'd expected him to just passively accept me, seeing other people while staying completely devoted to me. The next week, Ryan casually mentioned he was seeing someone else too. "Her name is Jennifer. She's a doctor at Memorial Hospital. We've been out 3 times. She's really great." "You're seeing multiple women now?" "Yes. Isn't that what open relationships are about? Exploring connections with multiple people?" "I thought you'd just see one person casually, and I thought you'd be faithful to me. But here we are." Over the next month, Ryan dated extensively and openly. He was seeing Amanda regularly, at least twice a week for dinner, and staying over at her place. And Jennifer the doctor, they'd been to the theatre twice and several nice restaurants. and someone named Christine he'd met at his gym, who was apparently a fitness model. He was busier than I'd ever seen him in 3 years together, constantly going on dates and coming home late or not at all. Meanwhile, things with Marcus had progressively lost their excitement. Now that it wasn't forbidden and secret, it wasn't as thrilling. He was just a guy. We had good chemistry, but nothing deep or meaningful. I found myself getting bored with him the same way I'd gotten bored with Ryan. And worse, Marcus started asking uncomfortable questions. "So you're in an open relationship now?" "Yeah, Ryan and I decided to explore non-monogamy." "Did you decide that before or after he caught you cheating?" "It's complicated. It sounds like you cheated and then convinced him to accept it by calling it an open relationship." "That's not exactly what happened, but close enough." Even Marcus was judging me. I found myself missing Ryan more and more, missing what we had before I ruined it, missing the security and stability, and having him completely committed to me, missing knowing he was mine. I tried to talk to Ryan about closing the relationship and going back to how we were. "I think we should go back to being exclusive. I don't think the open relationship is working." "I disagree. I think it's working great for me. You're barely home anymore. You're spending all your time with other women. I'm exploring my options like you wanted us both to do. I want to close the relationship and go back to how we were before." "No." "What do you mean, no?" "I mean, I like my current situation. I'm not interested in closing the relationship." "You're choosing these random women over me?" "I'm choosing to continue the relationship structure you demanded when you got caught cheating. You wanted this open relationship. Now you have to live with it. I made a mistake. You cheated on me deliberately for months and then demanded I accept it as some evolved relationship model. I accepted it. Now you want me to close it again because you don't like me having the same freedom you demanded for yourself. That's not how this works. I love you. You love having me committed while you do whatever you want. That's not the same thing as actually loving me." I tried a different approach. "Can we at least talk about boundaries, about how much time you spend with them?" "No. You didn't give me boundaries when you were with Marcus. You just did what you wanted." "I'm uncomfortable with how serious you're getting with Amanda. And I was uncomfortable with you cheating. We don't always get what we want. This isn't fair. Fair, you cheated, demanded an open relationship, and now you're upset that I'm actually using the freedom you insisted we both have. That's rich." I felt trapped in a situation I'd created, trapped watching Ryan fall for someone else while I couldn't say anything without admitting I'd manipulated him. My friend Sarah came over one night when Ryan was out with Jennifer. "How are you holding up?" "Terribly. I hate this. I hate watching him with other women." "Then why don't you ask to close the relationship?" "I tried. He said no. He said no. He likes being open now. He's seeing 3 women regularly. He doesn't want to give that up." "Did you expect him to just sit around while you explored?" "I didn't think he'd actually find people. I thought he'd try for a while and realize he didn't want anyone else." Sarah looked at me with something like pity. "You wanted an open relationship that was only open for you. I thought he'd understand that I needed freedom, but still wanted him as my anchor." "That's not how it works. You can't have your cake and eat it too." "Everyone keeps saying that." "Because it's true. You cheated, got caught, and tried to avoid consequences by calling it an open relationship. Now he's actually enjoying that open relationship and you can't handle it." The worst part was watching Ryan fall for Amanda. I could see it happening. The way he talked about her, the amount of time he spent with her, the way his face lit up when she texted. One night he came home after being out with her and I confronted him. "You're in love with her." He didn't deny it. "Maybe I am." "How can you do this to me?" "Do what? See other people in the open relationship you demanded we have. Fall in love with someone else. You fell for Marcus. You cheated on me with him for months. Why is it okay for you but not for me?" I'm not in love with Marcus. But you were willing to risk our relationship for him. You were willing to cheat and lie and manipulate me to keep seeing him, so clearly he meant something to you. It was different. How? I couldn't answer that. Ryan started bringing Amanda around more frequently. She'd come over for dinner. They'd watch movies together on our couch. She'd stay over in the guest room with him. It was torture. Absolute torture, watching another woman take my place in Ryan's life. I tried talking to Marcus about it. Ryan's falling for someone else. Isn't that the point of an open relationship? To explore connections with other people. Not like this, not falling in love. What did you expect? You wanted him to just accept you seeing me without developing feelings for anyone himself. I thought he'd stay committed to me as his primary. While you did whatever you wanted, that's not fair and you know it. Even my affair partner thought I was being unreasonable. I started seeing changes in Ryan. He was happier, lighter. He smiled more. He seemed energized in a way he hadn't been in months with me. One evening I asked him about it. You seem different lately. Do I? Happier. I am happy. Amanda makes me happy. Jennifer makes me happy. Being open makes me happy. And I don't make you happy anymore? You made me miserable when you cheated. You made me angry when you tried to manipulate me into accepting it. Now you're just someone I live with while I explore better options. That hurt more than anything. I started experiencing what felt like karma. Marcus started seeing other people too. I met someone else, he told me one day. What? Her name is Lisa. She's great. We've been on a few dates. You're seeing someone else? Yeah. I figured since we're in an open thing, I might as well explore too. So now both Ryan and Marcus were seeing other people, and I was the one who felt left behind. I tried dating other people too, but it felt hollow. Every date felt like a poor substitute for what I'd lost with Ryan. 2 weeks ago, things came to a final head. Ryan sat me down seriously one evening. I've been thinking a lot about our situation, and I've made a decision. What decision? I'm ending our relationship, completely and permanently. What? Why? Because I deserve better than this, better than being with someone who cheated on me, demanded an open relationship to justify it, and now wants to close it again when she doesn't like the consequences of her own choices. You're breaking up with me? Yes. I want you to move out by the end of the month. I'll help you find a place if you need it. You can't be serious. I'm completely serious. I've already signed a lease on a new place with Amanda. We're moving in together next month. I felt like the ground had dropped out from under me. You're moving in with her? Yes, she's wonderful. She's honest. She didn't cheat on me and then try to manipulate me into accepting it. She actually wants to be with me exclusively. So you're closing your open relationship with her but not with me. I'm starting a new monogamous relationship with her. You and I are done completely. This isn't fair. You wanted an open relationship. I opened the door like you asked. Now I'm closing it behind you on your way out. You don't get to come back in. I was wrong. I'm genuinely sorry. Can't we work through this? No. You showed me who you are. Someone who cheats and then uses progressive language to justify it. Someone who wants complete freedom for herself, but commitment from me. Someone who only wants to close the relationship when she's not getting what she wants from it anymore. Please give me another chance. I gave you what you asked for, an open relationship. You just didn't expect that I'd actually find someone better, someone who doesn't need to cheat, someone who chooses me without needing backup options. I made a mistake. You made many mistakes. You cheated. You lied. You manipulated. You tried to have it both ways, and now you're facing the consequences. He was serious, completely and utterly serious. I tried everything over the next few days. Apologized profusely, begged, cried, promised to change, offered to go to therapy, offered to cut off all contact with Marcus immediately. None of it worked. It's too late, Ryan said. I'm done. I've moved on. You need to do the same. You're really choosing her over me after 3 years together. I'm choosing honesty over manipulation. I'm choosing someone who values me over someone who takes me for granted. I'm choosing to be with someone who didn't need to cheat to realize what she had. I moved out 3 weeks ago. Ryan and Amanda moved into a nice apartment together in a better neighborhood. They post photos constantly on social media, looking happy, looking genuinely committed, looking like a real couple building a future together. And I'm alone. Marcus and I fizzled out quickly once it wasn't exciting anymore. I tried dating other people, but nothing stuck or felt meaningful. Every date I went on, I found myself comparing the guy to Ryan, to what I'd lost. I realized now that I had something genuinely good with Ryan, and I destroyed it completely because I was bored and selfish and wanted excitement without consequences. My friends are split on whether I deserved this outcome. My best friend Sarah thinks Ryan was vindictive. He deliberately found someone better just to hurt you and prove a point. That's cruel. My other friend Jen thinks I got exactly what I deserved. You cheated, demanded an open relationship to justify it, and expected him to just wait around while you explored. Of course he moved on to someone better. My sister thinks the whole thing is messy. You both made mistakes. You cheated, he was vindictive. Neither of you handled it well. But my therapist asks me hard questions every week that I can't escape. What did you really want from that open relationship? I wanted freedom to explore without losing Ryan's commitment. So you wanted rules that only applied to him. I thought he'd understand that I needed to explore, and he'd wait for me to finish. Why would he wait for someone who cheated on him and then demanded he accept it? I don't have a good answer to that. My therapist continues. It seems like you wanted the security of a committed relationship with Ryan while also having the freedom to see other people. But you didn't want him to have that same freedom. I thought he wouldn't want it. Or you hoped he wouldn't want it so you could have your cake and eat it too. Maybe. And when he did want it and found someone he connected with, you tried to close the relationship. Why? Because I realized I didn't actually want to lose him. But you were willing to risk losing him when you cheated. You were willing to risk it when you demanded an open relationship. You only wanted to close it when you saw he was moving on. She's right. I know she's right. The truth I'm slowly facing is that I cheated on Ryan because I was bored and selfish and wanted excitement. Then, instead of apologizing and working hard to rebuild trust, I tried to reframe it as some progressive relationship evolution. I demanded an open relationship thinking Ryan would just passively accept me seeing other people while staying completely devoted to me. And when he actually embraced the open relationship and found someone genuinely better than me, I couldn't handle it at all. I wanted an open relationship that was only open for me. And now I'm alone while Ryan is happy with someone who actually values him and doesn't need to cheat. I see them sometimes. Ryan and Amanda, out at restaurants, walking together in the park near where I now live. They always look happy, natural together, like they fit perfectly. Last week I saw them at a coffee shop. They were laughing about something, completely absorbed in each other. Ryan looked happier than I'd seen him in the last year of our relationship. Amanda had her hand on his arm affectionately. They looked like a real couple, a committed couple building something real. Ryan saw me standing there staring, made eye contact for just a second, didn't wave, didn't acknowledge me beyond that brief glance. Just turned back to Amanda and continued their conversation like I didn't exist. I don't exist to him anymore. I ran into his brother last week at the grocery store. He was civil but cold. "How are you doing?" I asked. "Good. Ryan's really happy with Amanda. She's great for him." "That's good." He told me what happened, what you did. "I made a mistake. You made a choice. You chose to cheat. Then you chose to manipulate him into accepting it by calling it an open relationship. Those weren't mistakes. Those were deliberate decisions. I didn't mean to hurt him. But you did, and now you're upset that he moved on and found someone better, someone who doesn't cheat. He walked away without saying goodbye. Even Ryan's friends won't talk to me anymore. I saw a group of them at a bar last weekend and tried to say hello. They were polite but distant. One of them, Mark, pulled me aside. Look, I don't want to be mean, but you should know. Everyone knows what you did. How you cheated on Ryan and then tried to make it his fault for not accepting an open relationship. That's not what happened. That's exactly what happened. Ryan told us everything, and we all think he's better off without you. We were together for 3 years, and you threw it away to sleep with some guy from your work. Then when Ryan caught you, you tried to manipulate him into accepting it. That's not okay. I've become the villain in everyone's story. The cheater who tried to manipulate her way out of consequences. The woman who wanted freedom for herself, but commitment from her partner. The selfish person who only cared about what she wanted, and maybe that's exactly what I am. My mum called me last week. She'd heard about the breakup from my sister. What happened with you and Ryan? I tried to explain my side. About feeling trapped. About needing exploration. About the open relationship. Chelsea, did you cheat on him? It's complicated. Did you or didn't you? Yes, but I was trying to be honest about what I needed. After you already cheated, you weren't being honest. You were trying to avoid consequences. You're supposed to be on my side. I'm on the side of what's right, and what you did wasn't right. You cheated on a good man who loved you. Then, when he caught you, you tried to manipulate him into accepting it. I wasn't manipulating. You demanded an open relationship thinking he'd just accept you seeing other people while staying devoted to you. That's manipulation. Even my own mother thinks I'm wrong. I keep replaying it all in my head. What I could have done differently. If I'd just been honest from the start about feeling restless. If I'd talked to Ryan before cheating. If I'd actually meant it when I said I wanted an open relationship for both of us. But I didn't. I wanted it just for me. And now I'm paying the price. I announced I wanted an open relationship after cheating. My boyfriend opened the door and closed it behind me as I walked out of his life. And now I'm on the outside, looking in at what I destroyed. Maybe I deserved this outcome. Maybe you can't cheat on someone and then expect them to accept it as relationship growth. Maybe you can't demand freedom for yourself while expecting commitment from your partner. But I still wish he'd just forgiven me and taken me back. Even though I understand now why he didn't and why he shouldn't have. I learned my lesson about honesty and loyalty, about respect and commitment, about how you can't have it both ways. Too late to save what I had with Ryan. But learned nonetheless through painful experience. The open relationship I demanded became the door through which I lost everything, and I only have myself to blame.